This is a little bit of a different review video than I typically do. So normally I just review one piano and I give you all of the perks of it, what I like about it, what maybe is not my favorite feature, and just kind of an overall review. But in this video, I'm actually reviewing two models in comparison to each other. So I have a separate video where I review the OURA S100, which I find to be one of the best pianos under $500. You guys already know my opinion about this particular model. This is a different color, which is cool. They have a couple different options you can choose from, black or white. And then this over here is the DDP-80, which I believe is the first piano I ever reviewed from Donner. However, this is the upgraded version, and you're going to see it does have some really cool effects. They've done a lot of work on the sound, and I think it's better than ever. There's about $100 difference in price between the two models, and then there are a few other little changes that I think can help you make your decision if you're considering pianos in the $400 to $600 market. That's where these would fall. So at first glance, I noticed that the OURA S100 is slightly taller than the DDP-80. It is not perceptible when playing, and really I just thought, oh, I think there might be a little bit of a difference, but it does not affect the playing of it. The benches are the same height, so that's just something to consider, slightly taller. It's also a smaller profile. It's a little bit thinner. I don't find them to be terribly different in weight as far as like one being, quite a bit heavier or lighter. This one is a little bit lighter, but it's still going to be your overall very small profile. They both fit great into small spaces. This one's going to come in several different colors of wood. This one comes in white or black. So it really comes down to appearance, price, a few things like that, because I feel like the sound that you get out of both of these pianos is very, very good. You're going to notice on the DDP-80, with the sound upgrade, gets very loud. So if you're needing a piano to fill a space, maybe for a Sunday school class or a school classroom or even a small church auditorium, that would be a better choice because it does get quite a bit louder. When they're both on full volume, this one can put out a lot of sound, which is a great perk. So now I'll play each of them, let you hear what they sound like, and then we'll dive into some of the specifics. This is the OURA S100, so your power key, and then to change the sounds and the volume, it also has a transposition feature, some demo songs, and then a Bluetooth speaker included. To do all that, you have all of your controls on the top. That's going to be really different than the DDP-80, which has the control at the back, and I'll show you how that works. But let's see how this one sounds. So these are just my iPhone speakers. You're hearing this in my living room. So when I first sat down at this piano just now to let you guys hear this tone, when I first played the chord, I thought, oh my, we're in the wrong key. So it is somehow up a third. So I'm playing in the key of C, but it sounds much higher than that. So I had to do a little bit of Googling and find out how to transpose, because this piano has no control features on the top of the piano. There's a volume button and a power button on the back, and that's it. So in order to change the tones, it has like an organ, some strings, things like that built in. And then it has a transposition feature built in. You have to kind of learn the code. So I've done a little bit of digging this morning, and I'll show you guys how all of that works. So to transpose, it says that you press the B up at the top, second to the top white key, and hold it down, and then press the key that you want to transpose to. that did not work. So let's try it again. Now it's correct. So what I had to do was press all 3 pedals down at the same time. So I did 2 with one foot and 1 with the other, press the B up at the top, and then I pressed middle C, and that returned the piano to a middle C tuning instead of being transposed. It does have a transposition feature. So if you need it to go up a step or up a third, whatever, if you want to play in the key of E flat, but you want to be playing the notes for the key of C on your keyboard. I know some pianists who only play in a few keys, so they would be using the transposition feature. You would press the B up at the top while you're holding down all 3 pedals, and then press the E flat, and now the piano is in the key of E flat. So I need to get it back to the key of C, so I press all 3 pedals again, press the B, middle C, there we go, now we're right. So that's a little bit tricky, I think, to learn right at first, but now that I've done it a few times, it's actually pretty simple. You use the same 3 pedals to change the tone, and the tones are built into the first few keys down here at the bass. So when I press all 3 pedals and then C, it even has a feature that I know a lot of churches that use this, that use digital keyboards. If you press all 3, it will play 2 sounds at once, which I think this is piano and strings. Yeah. So kind of a really pretty effect. So let's go back to just the piano. And this, I have it at just above 50% volume capacity. So it's about 60%. I'm just here in my living room, so you can tell it will put out a lot of sound. I think it has a beautiful tone to it. One of my favorite things about it is that it already has reverb built in. So you kind of get that larger feeling even out of just a digital keyboard. And that's really quite remarkable for these. I am impressed with both of them for different reasons. So whatever your price range is, this one is priced at $607, and there's a coupon that you can use to get 12% off, and I'll have that in the description to this video. And then this one is currently priced, I think, at $499, so it's just under $500. I think you get a really great instrument for that price range. I answer the question of which digital keyboard should I get about every other day from people that email or message and ask. And I always say it really depends on your budget, and also like what kind of look do you like. I think Donner does the best job right now of providing pianos in a really wide variety of styles. These two are very different. If you want a super thin profile white piano, that's totally different than something that's a little thicker. This comes in, I think, 4 different wood finishes though. So you have a lot of different options just out of these two extremely reasonably priced models. They both have USB capabilities. So I had another musician reach out to me and say, I'm really looking at these models, but I need it to connect to my computer because I do a lot of transcription work. I would say either one is a great choice because you can just prop your computer up. Obviously, you'd have a little more space if you're working on this. That really wouldn't have a lot of space for a computer, or if you have like a shelf above it that you keep it on, that kind of thing. So really good options to consider, and you can check out a coupon code in the description of this video.